You may recall that I was having issues keeping my bins at the right temperature, so I tried to use a heat map. Unfortunately, at the time, I did not have a digital temperature controller for that heat mat, so it was in fact warming it a little too much. So Mars Hydro to the rescue. I actually got a 48-inch mat, which is going to prove to have all kinds of uses for me. Right now I'm going to put it under my worm bins, but I'll also be using it for seedlings. But more importantly, it's also come with the digital temperature controller, which is going to allow me to regulate the heat that's going under my bins. So I want to put that in right away. I would also mention, I didn't realize that the temperature controller actually comes with a sensor, so you can deposit that right down into your medium to get that temperature. However, it also means that this device can actually just be used as a separate temperature controller, device control. In other words, I believe, and assuming it's within the bounds of their range here, that you could use it to temperature control a heater, for example. So multi-purpose, and I got this 48-inch heat map here, which I think is going to do wonders in here, as well as for my seedlings. So I'm going to put that in right now and dial it in, so I don't have to worry about drying out my castings at the bottom of the bin. That's it for now. GoPro, stop recording. All right, so here's what my plan is. I'm actually going to take out, I'm going to try to go through here and take out, there's a cocoon right there. I'm going to try to go through and take out these cocoons and actually put them in my new bin. But we'll see how much patience I have for that. But first, I'm going to do a little sifting and get some worms to be putting into the new bin. So this is what we're doing. Oh, this one's kind of heavy. This is the heavier the bin. It's the more populated of the bins. Now I've done nothing to prepare the bin for sifting. In other words, no type of migration or trying to get material that was free of worms. And I am only doing this for this particular process because I'm actually trying to get some worms and some castings and some cocoons. So let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna take some material, lay it on the sifter. I'll keep those out of the way. And then I'm gonna recruit some worms. Hey fellas, put you over here. Get those castings. And we'll also sift a little bit as we look for worms. And keep sifting. Hope you guys don't mind being recruited for this job. Don't make too much of a mess. Alright, anybody stuck? Doesn't look like it. Okay. You guys have made it through. And there's some castings. Beautiful. Any cocoons in there? There's one. Normally you see them just about in every handful. Ooh, which I'm assuming is a pretty good sign. So far, so good. Alright, let's see if we can get some more recruits. Oh. Go. And Okay, I think I've got all the worms I need. I actually picked out, I don't know if you can see them on top, I picked out a bunch of cocoons that were in these castings and just dropped them in there. So I'm done with this. I've set on the remaining fellers all back in there, and they can go back to rest. And I won't harass them anymore tonight. And here is the new bin that, if you saw my video a couple weeks ago, I made out of cardboard, cocoa coir, coffee grinds, leaf, and finally, about a week ago, I want to see, here we go. About a week ago, I also buried food. So that is on this side, I see. So I can dig up over here. The moisture is still pretty good. It's even a little bit soggy, but it's drier on top. So I can mix in here everywhere except for where the food is. And I think otherwise the moisture's pretty good. Hopefully, it feels pretty good to me. Hopefully it feels pretty good to these worms. Now, let's see if they take to it or if they try to run away. This will be interesting. Hopefully they enjoy it. It is pretty damp, but I think it's fine. Alright, let's see how they do. Here you go, guys, your new home. I hope you don't mind. Let's see where they've taken off to. Can I see anybody through the bottom? Oh, there's a few of them on the bottom. They went straight down. Okay. Guys, I hope you don't mind. This is the last time. I wasn't really planning on putting all these castings in here. I don't really want to dig through for the worms again. So let's consider it an inoculation. Let's see. Maybe I can save a little bit of it. That's okay. Some food under there, fellas. Hope you don't mind the bedding, guys. See how I did by your reaction. But there we go. So I'm gonna go through all these castings. I'm gonna pick out some more cocoons, see if there's any more worms in there, see if I missed any. There's one. Alright, so I'm gonna finish up that little bit. I'm gonna go through here, see if I can find any worms, pick out the cocoons, throw them in here, but otherwise, there we go. I've got a brand new bin started right there. This is gonna pop up right in between these two here on the heat mat, which I'm trying to maintain at around 80. We'll see how that works out. Okay, I'm gonna put this up there and go through those castings. Okay, I am going to do a very quick surprise update. So I'm gonna check in on them here and see how they are doing exactly right now and address any issues. So I've got the heat mat sitting at 72 degrees, and I mentioned that because that is effectively what I'm working on and concerned with, and that is, I'll show you. One is the humidity in the bin. So, looking around, only one guy up here getting adventurous. So that's pretty good. That shows to me that they do like the medium, which is good news to me because they didn't seem to be enjoying it that much originally, in that they did try to escape. And I think I know the reason why now that I've created more than one bin. So a fair amount of moisture. It's not necessarily a huge concern, but it does attract mites. You can see mites up here on the walls. This is the less populated bin, so it's not that populated with mites or worms. But let's take a little look. So the things that I'm concerned about here with the heat mat underneath mostly and simply is whether it's drying out the stuff on the bottom. So that's what I'm here to check. I'm not going to feed. I'm just going to check in on these guys and check the temperature and the whether things are drying out on here on the bottom. So we got worms all over, seemingly. There's a little guy, not too old. Now, so a bunch of worms in there, seemingly perfectly happy, but I'm not super happy because this medium is not dry, but I worry that it's getting close. Let's check. Oh, look at you big guys. Plenty of worms. They do seem to be definitely multiplying. As I said, this is my least populated bin. So they seem to be quite happy. Seems a little moisture over here. It's not bad. Oh, look at that. See the steam coming off? I don't know if the GoPro's catching that, but can that be good? So obviously that's steam, that's moisture leaving. So that's my concern, is the heat mat is still a little too warm and it's drying out the material too much, but it doesn't look bad on that side. The worms seem plentiful and pretty happy. But let's check then here in the front. It's not dry. Sorry guys, don't mean to mess with you so much. Well, I think my conclusion with that bin is still wait and see. It still seems okay. I haven't fed it in a while, which would add moisture, and I will be feeding them soon, so I think I will wait. If I plan to feed them in a couple days, I think maybe I'll check them tomorrow just to make sure that it's not drying out more, but it seems okay. But while we're here, that's the small bin. What I want to do is check the new bin. And one of my concerns with the new bin was similar whether the worms would like the medium that I prepared for them. Ooh. So, a lot of moisture, as you can see. This bin was definitely wetter. But the interesting thing is, I haven't seen a worm since I put them in here. Or barely. Put some cocoons in here too, and I see one there, cover them up. But so I'm just gonna, I don't want to disturb them too much. I don't know which side the feed was on, but I'm just gonna take a quick, there's another cocoon. I just want to take a quick look here and see. What's that thing? Not sure. We'll bury it as well though. Okay, let's take a quick look and make sure some of the worms are in here. I don't know how many worms I put in, not a ton. It's in the video, so I could probably figure it out, but see if I can find some of them. There's a cocoon. Well, they didn't try to run out, but maybe they're all balled up somewhere. There's a cocoon. So it may very well be that they are all over with the food, because this is not the food side. Oh, there's one. One little guy. Are you healthy and happy, dude? You're moving. Another little critter there. Seems okay. Okay, so the moisture level is pretty good in here. There's some more guys. Okay. Oh, are you guys getting funky there? Can't tell. Okay, let's check over here by where the feed is. And let us see if we've got some more worms over here. So this will be interesting. There's, like I said, not a ton in here. I'll try to figure out how many, maybe check back the video. I don't know if there was, 100 or how many. But I can feel I'm getting to the cardboard where the feed is. I can see that there are some worms in here. Oh, I can smell the rotting food too. It's been buried under there for a while. But there's the worms. And they are hanging out over here where the food is. So I won't bother them this time. They've only been in here a few days, 3 or 4. But checking in, everything seems fine in this bin. They seem relatively happy. We'll see if we get those cocoons hatching that I put in there. And we'll see if we get some new youngsters. But they seem to be happy with the medium I prepared. So that is the best news. And that's that. Alright, come back again, see how these wiggly squiggly guys do. That's it for now. GoPro, stop recording.